Howdy, all of you delicious people. Here again to do another episode of Movie Director Simulator. Realistically, as per usual, I will just mention that apologize for how long these usually end up taking out, or going out, but without a doubt, one thing that you can do, usually, is donate to the channel, dollar or a dime. You can donate anytime. There's no tier system. There's not holding any content hostage. At the end of the day, it's just to say that you like something beyond hitting a like button, but I have to mention that in every one of the videos, so we're going to go on here and maybe do some kind of something today. Horror 18 plus. We've been doing a boatload of horror, but considering it's October, it's just kind of like something that I really want to do, but let's look at some stuff. Come on. Comedy. I don't know if I really want to do comedy. Every time I do comedy, I'm like, it ends up like I end up like wanting to do something much more serious than a comedy, because comedies, it's like comedies are kind of hard to write a story, and it seems to like crux on comedy. It's a little tougher in a lot of aspects. Comics 6 plus. That's really toting at that 50 margin. I don't want to dip in success and it not go well. Come on. Come on. Give me something good. Bah, 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 bah. Let's go with drama. Yeah, let's go with drama. Alright. And I think that was, what was it? 18 plus drama. Okay. I don't know why I always forget that. Drama. Drama for your mama. Okay. 3 script. 4. That will be 4. And the movie or music will be 5. Let's go into a Jabba. Actually, let's see if we can buy some equipment. Get some better equipment. Lighting. Decorations. Nobody's been really complaining about the decorations lately, or the sound or whatever, so it's kind of hard to really tell what should I improve on in this, because nobody's been really legitimately complaining about stuff. Like, usually a lot of it that they've been complaining about is usually just like, this script is not what I want, or this isn't what I thought I should be, or producer skills. Well, I could just do producer skills. Yeah, let's yeah. Congratulations on buying a new upgrade. Yeah, producer skills. I think a lot of the times people will usually complain about the skill of which that my character has. Still, they do that to this day, so I think if I put more skills on the table, like, people won't like bash my skill set. Like, a lot of people can see what they want about how I do these games or whatever, but I'm talking about the people that are on this game here, and they're critiquing the movies as they come out. Yeah, pink. I think that one was pink, and yeah, oh, all right. Purple, pink, green. Purple, pink, green. All right. Purple, pink, yeah. Let's great when you have one of the shapes that are already there. Pink, purple, green. Pink. Yeah. Alright, that seems easy enough. Let's do the scripts. I think female was the last one we did because it's always like I usually choose male first because female was. So yeah, let's do another male character. The name will be. Uh. Cabal in Chan. Cabal in Chan. Like ball and chain, but Cabal in Chan. Cabal in Chan. Actually, that'd be Cabal Nichan? Cabal Nishan? Cabal Nishan. Cabal Nishan. I don't know. Or maybe N. E. Cabal Enchan. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Character has been chosen. Alright. We made money this day. We made money. We were victoried. We were victoried. We were. We were the victory. That's who we were. Alright. Green, pink, pink. Green, pink, pink. Yeah. Green. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. Now we roll and green, green, purple. Alright. Green, green, purple. Alright. Pink, green, purple. Pink, green. Yeah. Wasn't sure what the middle color, the middle shape was. Pink, green, purple. All right. So pink, green, purple. Okay. I didn't remember what the shape was, but I knew what the color was. All right. Let's write a wonderful script. A story of a turning point in the history of cinema. When the era of little movies ends and is being replaced by the era of films with sound. Where are we going with this? The main character of the picture is a beautiful and successful actor, Cabal Enchan. He is the icon of this time, the star of silent cinema, and the dream of every woman. You mean man? Is his only drawback. Wait a minute. First it says the dream of every woman, but then it says man after that. It says his. His only drawback is stubbornness. The man rejects the changes that occur in 1927 and even flatly refuses to use the microphone during filming. And this is a drama? Maybe we can do it this way. Maybe we can kind of keep a lot of this, but we might have to gut quite a bit of it out as well. A story of a turning point in history of cinema where the era of little movies and is being replaced by an era of film with sound. The main character of the picture is a beautiful and successful actor. He is the icon of the time, the star of silent cinema, and the dream of every. All right. We can kind of go about what they're kind of saying, but Okay, let's go. Let's pick up at he's the icon of. He's the icon. He's the icon of silent cinema. But, and then this is a big but. It's a big old but. But when movies switch to sound, everything goes wrong for this character. So what we're gonna do is where every time this guy once being in auditions of every movie, or when he even does land movies because like name recognition alone, he continues to do movies, and he fails every audition because the way he sounds. Every time he does a line, everyone asks him, "Could you give me that again, but do it different? Can you switch it around?" And he really thinks that it's starting to become a burden for films. Like, he's really thinking that, like, God, I had to spend 2 hours just because of a line that I said. Like, we could have done this movie, I could have gotten it done in one take, but now since I have to say something, and the mics didn't pick me up properly, or, like, and, like, it kind of does become kind of what originally this thing was, but um everything ends up just becoming way more taxing on the character to a point of him just becoming a person that eventually just snaps, because eventually he has to do these very emotional scenes, or he has to do these very arduous process scenes where he is involved in working with a lot of props and some very complicated scenes. But then after that, like, he has to say like a ridiculous amount of lines, to the point where there's no way that they couldn't, like he begs them to just, like, do I seriously, after doing moving all these props, and now I have to say this huge monologue of thing that no one could remember after, and you have to get it all done in one shot, and they're like, yes. They're like, there's no way around doing it in a different way. It's no. Then he just starts, after a while, just being in these situations, he just starts to lose it. He really does. Um, Everything goes wrong for this character. Well, okay. Evidently, my game just decided to kick out, so I had to kind of one, come back in here and then re-find this story. Right now, I think the story isn't in wonderful quality. I think it's just in good quality, but I just refound this script again, so we can just kind of continue where we left off. So I won't have to do so much work to just find another script because of this issue. So um, too many scenes of using props and then amounts long amounts of dialogue long amounts of speeches wear down, wear, uh, force this actor into a boiling point. Yeah, because for this actor, the scenes become very much more complicated. It gets to a point to where he has to go through um this scene where he has to go and hit 6 people with a pie. He has to jump over a couch, and he has to and do this and this and that, and do and punch a guy in the face, and all these other things just to get through like an entire scene of something. And then he has to, like, after he like grabs this woman, like he has to like tell her how much he loves her and how they have to run off together, and he has to mention, like, we have to get on a plane, which is 77427, and and we have to get there at 8 o'clock, and like we have to get out of here, and like it's a very complicated amount of lines, like expressing like all he has to do, all they have to do to escape, and how much he feels about her, and how much that this and this and that. And like after he does all this like Olympic style like scene to get and fight all these guys off, once he like gets to a point and they want him to do all of this all in one take, so that way it's great. Every single time he does this, by the time that he reaches the woman, he is too winded to be able to say anything. That he's just like, how about we just like grab the girl and go, and then we stop this, and then we start again at the airport, and I tell her all these things at the airport, so that way like I can stop being winded. It's like, god, it's too like I'm too winded after doing all these things. But they're like, no, we want it all in one take. So yeah, it's gets to a boiling point of shooting everything all in one take, and it gets to a point where the guy is just so desperate to eventually just keep doing silent films, but nobody wants to do that anymore. So um and realistically, a lot of people are looking at him like, you're the silent movie guy, and it's just like, oh well, that's too bad. And then he doesn't get casted just because he's the silent movie guy. um and the character gets typecasted as the silent movie guy. Hurting his career more into just becoming a stuntman. Here's a guy that was at the top of his game, and he was like this big, huge star for all these movies. Now this guy ends up being reduced to just doing stunt work that no one else will do. Like he ends up becoming legitimately probably the first stuntman because people would just outright refuse to do things along with doing their huge amounts of dialogue. So this guy ends up becoming the first stuntman by accident. So like, because nobody wants to do both dialogue and stunts. So yeah, it just that's how it ends up going. Is just like this guy is ending up like he can't do films anymore because he's just like I can't do what they want me to do. I just like I physically can't take um having to do all these action like scenes, but then on top of that, like you're also gonna want me to like grab a woman and cry and just and tell her how I feel about her right afterwards or all in the same go. And it's like, no, like any rational human being would not do any of these things, and you're making me do these things. Um so I don't know if I should just call this movie um it would be interesting maybe to just call this movie The Stunt or something like that along because I gotta come up with a movie. Um, the because I don't want to call it the last silent hero or something like that. The last the 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 technicolored because that's what happens. They went from black and white to technicolor, and then after that they kind of went and upped the ante every once in a while. Now it's like the HD or the 3D camera or whatever you want to call them, what have you. The I could call it the one take or take one. Um, because yeah, having like because basically I think that's the consistent theme here is like the directors or the producers or the whoever just wants it all done in one take because like they're running out of time, and every time somebody's arguing everybody's just like you're wasting camera time, you're wasting daylight, you're wasting this. um like it would be interesting to do a movie that kind of showcases like actors while they're doing a movie that isn't just behind the scenes, like to really give like to really show you what an actor has to legitimately go through while a movie is going on, to really give you a consensus of like god this like you kind of get little snippets of that but in some things, but not enough I feel. You can get to where some people do like documentaries and stuff like that or autobiographies how or eventually there's like actor studio how they talk about a movie and how they hated it or loved it um or what things went wrong during the production of some movies or interviews or what have you. You can catch every once in a while somebody talk about, yeah, how do you feel about Batman and Robin, George Clooney? And he says like, yeah, it was so hard to do Batman and Robin to take it seriously because you have a director that isn't feeling serious to you, and it just feels like a burden to try to be this role that is supposed to be so dark and dramatic and what have you, and you're trying to hold back glass of how crazy this thing is. And I couldn't take it. I couldn't try and with a straight face try to do this movie. It was hard. It was super hard. But anyways, Yeah, I guess we're gonna go with one take. Yeah, because I think that's gonna be the consensus going through the film, and I think that'll show like how difficult the film will be. That they want everything done in one take because it's easy, because it's just like it's and like I think the film people will get more like difficult than reasonably should, which eventually will force people out of the business because the directors won't like think something is fine because them themselves are going through a new way of shooting a film. So yeah, there'll be, if anything, whatever I get here, I might have to just probably do it in a very black and white poster. So whatever visual I end up, that might work maybe because you're having a person that is like binocular wise, just like watching you and like really scrutinizing what you're doing. Um, yeah, that might be one way to go about doing it. Just a guy with sunglasses. Maybe he'll be like the director, but yeah, you got like I want to give this kind of an old fashioned feel. So I think when we get the thumbnail, I might have to turn this into like a black and white kind of very much like retro kind of thing. So that's gonna be, could have dancing. I remember in like the old fashioned movies, there'd be a lot of like dancing films and stuff like that, kind of showcasing the time. Uh, Come on, give me something. Give me something I could use. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. Uh. Hmm. Man, the visuals are kind of hard to determine. Uh. It's pretty difficult to figure out how to go about this, how to go about it. Yeah, could you see trying to fight a monster in those old fashioned films and not really know what's going on? And have to do it all in one take? Uh, hmm. I don't know. This one's very difficult. There used to be a lot of old fashioned space movies. Too. You used to have a lot of like space movies, and you couldn't really like. Could you imagine doing a space film and like doing it all forcibly in one take, and the guy can't really see what's going on? Yeah, I think this is probably gonna have to be like the best representation of it, but it's gonna have a very filter like feel when you see it in the thumbnail. So yeah, hopefully I get this all, because I'm gonna have to like edit whatever happened before this because there was a snafu going on. So I'll have to like fuse that together with this. So I hope the quality goes well on it because the game just stopped going, and so now I'm like, oh great, so I have to edit that and then fuse this all together, and that takes so much freaking time that I don't want to do. But the film is ready. Okay. Uh, your film called One Take is ready. Let's see what you get. I still over time I don't still see like a gradual difference. 53 is the quality. Okay, it's like every every time I'm seeing like maybe like one better barely maybe or maybe just the same. To be honest, quite good. Quite weird, but intriguing. That's because I think that I use the space background. People are just like an old-fashioned space movie. It's like, well, no, it'll be a movie about movies and like yeah. So realistically, you could have had anything in the background, but Joe Rambo said fresh montage, but it could be better. The plot wasn't worked on well. Well, the plot doesn't like the plot is just kind of like built over time. So I don't know why I have to explain this to people that are complaining about things or whatever. But for failure, what did I not do to comply with the terms of the contract? Well, what was the What did I do wrong? I did. What was the? Oh, did I have to come? Did I have to come in here and rechoose the drama? Was the drama not on here either? I don't know. I don't really. I don't really care. I made a lot of money anyways. So what's the difference? Anyways. Equipment because I have a lot of money now. Or I can just improve on other things as well. Yeah. Huh. More than likely, by how I have to scramble to edit this, it probably would be better off just to like cut it at this point. Just like, okay, see you guys later. But I normally do this with doing two kinds of films, so I want to kind of keep a consistent way of going about doing things, unless I forcibly like there's something other than um like there's phone reasons or there's some kind of real reason for me to completely not get to this. Don't remember what the middle shape was or the last shape. Maybe a pink square. Yeah. Okay, pink, purple, green. Pink, purple, green. Pink, purple. Yeah. Two purples and a green. Two purples and a green. All right. Two perps and then a green. Yes. All right. I got some monies. Okay. First, as per usual, we gotta find a contract that will work. 18 plus, 13 quality. Maybe it was a thing about percentages. Maybe I was like 54 and that percentage was like 52 or I don't know. It's so so. It's so so. It's Sammy so so. All right. Come on, give me a good percentage game. 52, 12 plus horror. Uh, yeah, that sounds pretty good. So I just gotta get it 52 or higher on this one. So 12 plus horror movie. I don't know why I keep going into horror. I don't know why. All right, there we go. 5 on that, and I'll do 6 for music. Luckily, I haven't had any like legitimate, like logistically plans or problems that people like go onto this, and they complain about afterwards. I think the script was the main problem for this one. I think I would have probably gotten a lot higher if the script was better, but I was looking for the story and not exactly the script. Seems that you have gotten some money transfers to your card. It was a false transfer for the amount of 5,000. So give me back that money then. Okay. Female will be the last one. So these names are getting harder and harder every episode. Vasquez. Vasquez. Um. Jordan. Jordan. Vasquez Jordan. Sounds like Vasquez should honestly have been that person's last name. It maybe should have been Jordan Vasquez, but you have started writing a script. All right. All right. I also evidently miraculously bought music as well with getting a $5,000 less transfer. I also bought music, evidently, that was $5,000. Why would you spend $5,000 on music? Over time? Yes, but not in one day. But whatever. It is what it is. No, this is good. I'm not accepting this. No, it's not good. It's only good. I want wonderful. There we go. Vasquez Jordan is a successful businesswoman who produces sculptures. Ooh, sculptures. Recently, her family began to live with a constant obsession of extraneous entities that. Whatever that word was, that doesn't give any rest. It turns out that this is the ghost of a witch who used to. No, 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 no. I liked this sculpture part up until a certain point because, like, you can do things with sculpture like stuff. But I don't like the way that story was heading. When a girl named Vasquez Jordan gets a board for spiritualistic sessions, she and her friend decide to summon a spirit of their deceased father to ask him the questions about the safe. Oh, yeah, I think I did this one at one point. Evidently, we have a brief acquaintance with Alex. Why? I don't know. Vasquez Jordan, and I'm sorry if I like. Normally, I used to like talk like these as like a movie trailer person, but now I'm just like I just talk about them or whatever. It's just I don't know. I just like read them, and that's the voice that ends up coming out. Vasquez Jordan, after a brief acquaintance with Alex, whoever the f that is, gets a wedding offer from a young man that's probably not Alex, departing with her husband with groom to the city to his parents where the process of marriage is to take place according to their family traditions. What is this story? Caught in Alex's parents' house, the girl faces a lot of terrific photos that make her think about the choices she made. Okay, I like the photographer thing, but this script is all over the place. I think we could do this in a very interesting way, but all of this garbage is just what the heck is this story? We could have Vasquez Jordan as a character that meets this Alex guy. And funny enough, you know how technology is nowadays. You can take a pretty good photo with anybody. And maybe Alex is really good with Photoshop. Um, or what have you. Maybe he has been taking photos of Jordan via far or what have you. So yeah, let's kind of um we're probably really gonna have to like erase most of this garbage. Because Vasquez Jordan, after a brief acquaintance with Alex, she finds out that uh that uh she finds out he knows she is getting married and he knows because they posted it in the newspaper. This is a small town where whenever anybody gets married, they have a newspaper thing about it. It's not a big deal. It's just kind of like if anybody gets married in the town, it's a very small town, so this guy is just like okay, yeah, like we hear about everything because of the newspaper because it's such a small town. Um we end up finding out or we end up seeing later Alex taking pictures. Or wait. Uh Really, this is just a part of the thing, but it's like something that happens before they meet one another. If anything, we find we end up earlier seeing Alex taking pictures of Vasquez and we think nothing of it. Eventually, when meeting Vasquez, Alex tells her he does photo editing for a, let's just say, magazine. And how he hears about the wedding is because he does a little bit of work for the newspaper as well because he's a freelance guy and he hears some things from the newspaper people and that was one of them. Um he Alex says it was a shame she's getting married because he always had a crush on her. And this guy, you'll realize that eventually he becomes much more and more vicious. Because if anybody can come up with a really interesting photo in Photoshop and what have you, that could ruin a lot of people's lives because a picture's worth 1,000 words. And if you Photoshop it, I guess, really well, like a lot of people have been doing, where they've kind of, lately I've been watching YouTube videos where people have been replacing people's faces in movies. Like Robert De Niro looks like Al Pacino. Um, Tom Hardy in Mad Max Fury Road is replaced with Mel Gibson's face and what have you. You can do all kinds of things that I've seen lately, and I'm just like, man, this is awesome. Like, people are either trying to recorrect movies or change movies or doing something, and it's really awesome. It looks really cool, and it looks really authentic and what have you. And I'm just blown away by everything that's going on. What I've seen in videos, it's amazing. Anyways, um, later on, we find out Alex photoshops photo shoots, whatever you want to say it, um Baskin's face on another woman, bringing it up. Whoops. Bringing up to her lover and faking a confession about cheating. Ultimately, stalling the marriage, and Alex won't stop at there. Like, this becomes like the ultimate like blackmail, to where this guy is eventually, because he's so good at Photoshop and what have you, really good at taking pictures, making them look very convincing. Like, he's forcing Baskin to do more and more things. Um, Really blackmailing and forcing this girl into ultimately doing what he wants, but eventually she'll win at the end of the day, because that's how every movie goes. Eventually, like, it'll get down to a point where she just goes and kills him and burns all the photos, burns everything, burns his house, burns everything, and up goes all the evidence of everything. But but when we find that this girl is kind of think that she's scot free and she can get away with this guy, the police call her in, and she's just kind of like, okay, what for? And the police bring up that it's like, hey, do you have any relationships with this guy? And she's like, well, like, no, like, no, like, well, if anything, we talked to your husband and said that there was some kind of relationship going on, and we uploaded some photos from Alex's like phone cloud, and there is some pretty racy photos about this. And then, well, bam! Like you think that the girl is gonna get out of this and be okay, but instead she is booked for murder one instead of like eventually there's no like because Alex isn't physically there confessing what all happened because he gets broken by the police or what have you. It's just pictures are worth 1,000 words, and those words end up getting to just be like, well, but these photos here are clearly stating of like, well, yeah, all those are photoshopped. It's like, well, are they? And it's like, so if anything, this girl who like her life is turned upside down because of this guy, she ends up coming out of all this with her hands not wiped clean. Because like and everything that she says is just taken of like sure, I don't know. And yeah, so like yeah, let's go with that script. I don't know what to call this movie. Um a Cuz you would have to probably put Photoshop in there or Photoshot in there or photo something in there, but I know this sounds like a like man, this is a really heart wrenching, horrible story, but no, 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 oh no, 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 no. Experience a tragedy childhood with the death of. No, 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 no. Oh no, not that. Let me pause that. Okay, here was the original script. I'm not gonna modify it or whatever. That was how my story went. So you got the whole consensus of it, but we're just gonna go with this script, and yeah. I guess I'm gonna really have to hit the right buttons because yeah. So we're gonna just go with that original script and not the one that I changed and modified or whatever. So yeah, let's. Man, this episode is going like really, really not good. It's just like so many technical issues or whatever where I just end up going back and it ends up just blowing up in my face where I was like, oh no, I didn't want to go back that far. That just blew up in my face. Alright, so we'll go with that. We'll kind of just go into post production just so we can kind of get this episode. Man, this episode just off to a horrible start. Photo. I want to say like photo shot, but it just like photo. Uh. Could also mix in the word like technology. How like technology is really not working for this girl. Um. Photo. Uh. We could go with like how I said a picture's worth 1,000 words. We could probably go with we could call this 1,000 words, but no one would know what that means. It's like, oh, is this one of those where it's just like you have somebody that's like at a spelling bee contest or whatever. Ooh, we could go with a picture is 1,000 hertz. A picture is worth 1,000 hertz. Like it's just like, oh no, like no, not this, and oh, not that, and you're just feeling like hurt um because yeah, it's just like no, don't, yeah, not that picture, no, not that, nah, no, and like everything that this person is photoshoppingly doing is just causing this person more anguish and more just like god, how did I just get sucked into this? And it's just because this guy liked you. This guy liked you just to where you, like, there's nothing you could do. You're just sucked into this hole and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's just, yeah, what am I gonna do for. It would kind of cool to have that Rubik's Cube and have the Rubik's Cube have like little like pictures in that and have that be. That would make sense. That would make some sense there. Uh, there is some kind of like photo like things in here that I could probably go with that. Forcibly. So there's not an actual like photo that we can. Those look like blocks to me, but you can also say that they're pictures and they have like Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C kind of thing, like pictures forcibly, but I'm sure to a lot of people it's like, no, that looks like blocks. I don't know what this is. It could possibly look like how, like, if someone were to make a photo. Ah. What could look like a picture? What could look like a picture? What could look like it? Come on. Come on, give it to me. This could almost work because realistically, this guy is photoshopping what is going on, and realistically, he's probably doing it on a computer or whatever. So yeah, like this could be somebody editing in what like editing this guy and photoshopping this person. So this could honestly work. Yeah, this could work. Yeah, let's go with that. So, let's see what this film does. It almost looks like they're about the same right now. It almost really does. 55. All right. Well, not bad. By the way, the montage is not that bad. By the way, I thought you were going to say something negative. To be honest, quite good. Didn't understand a single thing, but I liked it. Well, yeah, I think the way the original script was, like the script made no nonsense, hence why I had to change everything. But oh well, we had fun on this one, so yeah. If anything, yeah, I might have to go through and do some forcibly some creative aspects about this video. So I'm gonna go here because this is gonna take a while to get all this out. So without a doubt, goodbye everybody. Goodbye everybody.